This is like the ram versus the ibex. The ram versus the ibex. But it's in a reverse sense, when that Mars representing the ram, it wants to utilize its strength to bring outward in full expression the deepest desires that it was born with. The deepest desires that it was born with, Cancer. The desire that directly expresses the heart. You can understand that through your heart soul urge number, the numerological value of the day you were born. That is what Mars is fighting for. I want you in full expression of that. But that ibex is charged up with that Pluto force, and it will not accept defeat. It's climbing and scaling that mountain with those little bitty hooves, knowing it could fall to its death any moment. But where we are in our spirit is we're losing interest in that climb. We're losing any desire for investment in the destiny of the ibex, and we want to return to the destiny of the ram. The ram. I don't want to be what these powers have been manufacturing me to be. That finished off Capricorn, in essence, is the democracy that we used to subscribe to. Democracy is to manufacture the consent of the people. Towards corporate interests. And what places power behind that motive is the delusion of females. By keeping them in a spell of feminism, it's a well-oiled machine. And the soul does not meet its true meaning and fulfillment. We are changing that together. Together we decided to change it. That time is up. Aquarius awakens the revolutionaries. The futuristic wave. We, the people. It's going to be a heated winter. A heated winter. Because we are going to be relentless to take all action on being ourselves, on being authentic finally. Was it really natural to live out the idea of Rothschilds and Rockefeller? Was it really natural to go to these college campuses and get brainwashed as liberals and then come out after graduation, get a little career, and go directly against the wisdom and design of nature in everything that we do? Alienate children. Divide families right down the middle. Become obsessed with money and possessions and materials. Pervert the expression and definition of love. Taint it. Alienate man from woman and woman from man. Spread throughout society distrust and fear. We're done with it. Our soul is done. And it's just a matter of time before the cognitive mind catches up from the recovered revelations of Scorpio, in which Mercury is in Scorpio. It's reviving the nature of man and woman. It's restoring the nature of man and woman. Scorpio sun is restoring the soul of man and woman back to their nature. Back to their nature. A heated winter. We're going to learn to resist, to overcome, to be courageous, to be bold, to be assertive, to bring in a new world that allows us fulfillment and security, that establishes true and deep meaning, a new culture through Cancer, a new culture that restores the identity of women that was stripped through feminism, that upholds women the true way, the right way, in the nature and not in a commercial scheme. There's a cleansing taking place on the earth. The stars are falling, and we're all witnessing it. We're all watching it. A cleansing is taking place. We are bringing it in. Your talents, your gifts, your efforts, your striving, what your heart lights up to do, what you take pleasure in, what you now see as meaningful for you. You are going to live that reality, and you will be accommodated for. You will be compensated. You will be guided. You will be protected. It will come to pass for you, and very soon it will be. A heated winter. We're going to be provoked by the ibex. Don't you want to keep climbing? Aren't you afraid of falling? Don't you want more and more and more? Don't you want more? It's an illusion. Don't fall for it. Don't fall for it. The soul. The soul. The soul. It was sold. The soul was sold. And you have to buy it back. You have to take it back if you must. Take it back. Mars opposite Pluto. Let's go over it again. Mars opposite Pluto. 4th house. 10th house. Cancer. Capricorn. Check it out now. Fourth house, 10th house axis. This could get heated. Prepare yourself. Prepare yourself. Prepare yourself to be challenged, and prepare yourself to be mindful of when you are challenging. Prepare yourself. Prepare yourself to manage possible frustration, anger, resent, disappointment, power struggles, control dynamics, forceful initiatives, assertiveness, aggression. All of these kind of energies are going to frequent our daily experiences over the next 5 months. This is not going to be quick. It's not going to be a little slip in, slip out. We're going to marinate in this energy. We're going to bask in this energy. It's up to you, it's up to me what it means. This could be opportunity for healing. It could also be opportunity to utilize strength, boldness, assertiveness that you normally would not muster. We do ourselves a favor by grounding our heart and grounding our intention and sincerity. With the Sun and Mercury and Scorpio introducing this opposition of Mars and Pluto, that's exactly where our heart and intention is at. That's exactly where our thought process is at. My instincts. But hopefully with understanding. With understanding. Let's remind ourselves that to somebody you're going to be the Mars, and to somebody else you're going to be the Pluto. Somebody's going to be Mars to me, and somebody's going to be Pluto to me. We are going to take turns with this. We're going to take turns. To somebody you manifest as that Capricorn Pluto. And to somebody you manifest as that Cancer Mars. The Cancer Mars is trying to assert its will, its ambition, its identity towards its own righteous cause. In light of its own values, in light of its own culture, in light of its own realization of itself that it wants to express out into the world. But that Mars is going to consistently be met in opposition to Pluto. Power dynamics and the infrastructure of our life expressed with great domineering power. Subtle. The Pluto Capricorn expression, more than likely, with us, is of an 8th house type of theme, where you have a stake in the matter and somebody else has a stake in the matter, and there are responsibilities, there are duties that are expected of you, a performance that is expected of you, service that's expected of you, commitment that's expected of you, disciplines that are expected of you. And the power is moving. But the power seems to go against what now means security for you, emotional fulfillment for you. It's going against the identity that you now realize is for you to express outward. The world that you know that you're supposed to create. The reality that you agreed is part of what you see as the truth. It's an opposition. How do we handle it? Let's handle it like masters. It's time for alchemy. It's time for wisdom. It's time for alchemy. It's time for wisdom. This will show up in the personal life. Whether it's under your roof, at work, at school, the marketplace, wherever there is infrastructure, even in the character of another person who's wielding such power over you, expecting of you something that's in contradiction to who you now are. We all are going to have a fight on our hands, but there are ways to fight. There are ways to fight. Violence is the lesser of ways. It is the lesser of ways. It's not what we're supposed to resort to. But wisdom, love, truth. And not that any of these are passive, but these are delivered with wisdom. Our wisdom is tested now. Anger is something that we are going to learn very well inside of ourselves. Soon we're going to realize that our anger is really about ourselves. The trust that we want to have with ourselves, the respect that we want to have with ourselves, the honor that we want to have with ourselves, fulfillment, courage, consistency, grit, taking control of your life. Pluto intercepted where you lost control of your life. And you're using your Mars to get it back. Capricorn had a plan where you did not have a plan. And you had to submit to the plan of Capricorn rather than the plan of your own heart, your own spirit. And now comes the opportunity from the universe to break free, to be your own revolutionary, to break yourself out of that captivity. What does that mean for you? To break yourself out from that captivity. You didn't have a plan for your soul, so you sold it. You didn't have a direction for your soul, so it went on a course of a world that now is dissolving. A timeline that is now dissolving. And you're in a crisis with that Cancer Mars of demanding that you get your soul back because you got a glimpse of what your soul looks like. You got a glimpse of the fragrance of your soul. You got a whiff of that. You got reintroduced to your soul and you see the freedom and the fulfillment, the joy, the security that comes with it, the clarity that comes with it, and you want it back. But not without facing the final boss, Capricorn Pluto. The world is burning down in that old timeline, and your soul is trapped in there, and you want to get it out. You want to rescue your soul from that burning house. How do you get it back? How do you get it back? I'll tell you how. Salvation wins our souls back. That's how. We get our souls back through salvation. The three water houses, the three water signs. Cancer, where Mars is at now. Scorpio, where your mind and your heart through the sun and Mercury is at now, where Juno is now entering to restore your commitment. Salvation through your relationship with others, the healing that you find the courage to step into, making atonement, reconciliation, and healing, forgiveness. The 12th house, where Saturn is at, the karma that we have to face, that we have to deal with, work through. Duty, responsibility, fulfillment of responsibility and duties. Obligations, what we owe, to free up that subconscious from fear and guilt. There's a solution for what I'm dissatisfied about, and Saturn is showing us. That salvation that quiets the subconscious mind, Pisces, giving you a peaceful approach and unconditional love to show up in the world with, to move through the world with, understand. Salvation is how you get your soul back. That's how your soul is bought with a price by the Most High. By the Most High. Salvation. Confession is how we release the pain. Confession is how we release the fire. Confession. Not through fighting, not through argument, not through going back and forth, not through abusing other people, accusing others, pointing the finger outward. It's all within. It's all within. A Wizard of Oz journey. We're off to see the wizard. And come to find out, it's a little bitty man behind a curtain. Understand? Understand? For the rest of the year, we're going to learn a lot about our Mars impulse. We're going to learn a lot about how Ogun operates in our spirit, the god of war. We're going to learn how to use our Mars from the highest frequencies. We're going to learn how to transform and transmute fire properties. We're learning how to step into that Aries with assertive spirit, but not aggressive spirit. Fighting for truth and love and justice. Through virtue, through understanding, sincerity, as wise as a serpent, harmless as a dove. We're going to learn. Don't fall for the illusion. The illusion that, oh, it's what you are doing to me. It's what that person is doing. It's what this person is doing. Don't fall into the illusion. We are past those stages of learning. And where we are now, we have to keep sight of the true view. It is self. It is self. It is self. It is self. Yes, I'm angry. Yes, I'm frustrated. Yes, I'm disappointed. The righteous anger is burning inside and I want to do something. But guess what? We change the world when we change ourselves. And that is sufficient. After accomplishing such, we get to share that warmth out into the world for those who will receive it. Mars is in full representation of our first house, our ascendant. It's a full representation of the action that has to go behind our heart, soul, urge number. And I want you to contemplate that. Your heart, soul, urge number. 1, 2, 3 to 9, 11, 22, 33. You have the impulse to manifest this outward. There is frustration that there are parts of you tied into that old world. And your frustration is to get it back out so that you can be what you realize you are. And freedom is at the basis of all of this. Freedom. Freedom. I want my freedom back. And on the opposite spectrum, I want security. I want security. So we all will play both sides of this spectrum, where we are the one who is fighting for our security and fighting for our right to take back our soul that we sold into the old world. We also will play the role of the one who realizes it's time to transform. And many will not like it. The solution is right under our nose, but it's hidden for a reason. Because we have testing, we have examination. That fire has to burn there. The sense of injustice, unfairness, frustration. Get out of my way. Don't hold me back. Don't inconvenience me. I want to be free. Give me back my soul. Give me back my rights. I want to feel secure. I want to feel stable. It's all there. The solution to it all is also here. But it's not meant for us to see the full detail just yet. It's not meant. Understand, there's a timeline. And we have to show patience to the timeline. Humility to the timeline. It's not about reaching the destination. It's about what is learned on the way to the destination. Thus, Sagittarius, Pallas Athena, Venus. Venus knows what you want. Venus knows what you desire. Because Venus is a manifestation of such. How could she not know? Pallas Athena. I know how you will get it. I know how you will make it. I know how you will call it in. I know how you will create it. I know every route. I know every play. I've been to war many, many times. And in Sagittarius, freedom. We are out to get you freedom. The freedom that you long for. Who doesn't feel entrapped right now by the burning Capricorn Pluto? The powers that be. And your righteous anger, that be. Pallas Athena is going to break you out. Sagittarius, freedom is already being strategized. Know your buttons. Know what frustrates you. Know what angers you. Give yourself a delay in how you react. Give yourself a delay in how you respond. Don't sell yourself because you think that it's all you have or it's the only way. Don't sell yourself. Faith is required. It is required of us. Faith is required of us. We know what is for our soul to do, and we know what is for our soul to be. We know. And that's what we must do with wisdom. This is not the hour of conforming. This is not the hour of giving up on what you believe in and who you are and what you're about and what you realize you came to earth to accomplish. This is not the time of giving up and panicking. This is the time of refreshing your strength, your spirit, your boldness, your will to continue going forward. There is no success without failure because there would be no opportunity for you to keep getting up. Resilience, perseverance, it all counts. The solution will be revealed to us all on what that key looks like to break us free. But breaking out of here. Down goes the old world. We're breaking out of here. We're breaking out. Saturn has already supported us with letting go of many fears and guilt that we dealt with, addictions that we dealt with, lack of boundaries that we dealt with, attachments that we dealt with, that were keeping us bound in that Capricorn theory, that South Node Libra sisterhood. We're free now. We're free. But being free is perhaps a greater level of responsibility to yourself. What will you do with your freedom? South Node Libra proposed a false idea of freedom. They sold themselves into it. The Capricorn theory had interest in moving that spirit of feminism throughout the world. And ultimately what it manifested as is the abuse of freedom. And that caused the oppression of the self through entertainment, through lust, through rebellion. All while selling the soul without knowing. We've come full circle and we learn what all of that means. At least the females of society learned. They are about to turn a different direction. The world is safer when women know who they are. The world is not safe when women don't know who they are, because the power of women is too great for them to walk in ignorance of their power. That is a catastrophe of the society. But through the past experiences that we are coming out of, in hindsight, that now becomes wisdom with the very moon that was conjunct Pluto in its direct motion. The wisdom of women is in return route. That is when society, that is when the world becomes a truly enriched, life-producing opportunity when women know who they are. Feminism was the beguile of the woman, the falsehood, the lie, the delusion, the destruction of her highest expressions. With Capricorn Pluto, feminism is in there burning away. And with Cancer Mars, divine masculine, it's rebirthing its boldness to speak truth again, even against cancel culture, even against feminism, even against the feminists' owning of narratives. It will no longer work. It will no longer prosper. It will no longer prevail. Democratic left liberalism and feminism is now burning. It is down. It is gone. It is fading. It is washing away. A new world is coming in. A new world. Restoring the balance and the harmony between man and woman, but in a futuristic context. Now we will see what real freedom looks like. It's scary when you don't want to be responsible. It's scary when you don't want to be accountable. But it's a victory when you're willing to be accountable and when you're willing to take responsibility for your own fate and destiny. Taking control of your own life. It's not on the system. It's not on the public. It's not on the government. It's not on a handout. It's not what somebody's going to give me. It's not what somebody's going to do for me. Self. That's the hero. The political climate is turned up very high. Very high. But we do have the option to keep the focus on what's really occurring here, which is the birthing of our power in Mars, the birthing of our power in Aries, the birthing of our power in Scorpio, the feminine expression of Mars. Rebels, revolutionaries are awakening. Water bearers, the bringers of wisdom, are rising. Luciferic false lights, they are stars falling out of the sky. Know that Mars in Cancer, for this long especially, understand, okay? For the collective, I know it's sensitive to hear. Men of society are being restored in their courage, their boldness, their divine right to say the truth. Truth is being restored in our societies, in our worlds, to speak it, to express it. Cancer represents righteousness in this right. So it's not coming from a misogynistic place. It's not coming from a harmful place. It's not coming from bullying and tyranny. It's not coming from the patriarchy, as they like to say. It's coming from the fact that males of society are done. They're fed up with being controlled by feminism, limited by feminism, mischaracterized by feminism, accused by feminism, vilified by feminism. Their character, their reputation, their name being spoiled by feminism. The weaponization, Capricorn Pluto theory, the weaponization of society, of the courts, of government against the male in society. South Node Libra, family court systems. Cancer. Men are being given back their divine right to coexist in their true and authentic expression as males. They were not born to be the likeness of females. They were not born to say and think what females say and think, or to be fully agreeable with all that females say and think. They have the right to their expression, and they are not to be vilified for their expression. The male. The male is being restored, covered and protected like a little baby by Yemeya, Cancer, Mother Yamoja, like a little baby. And when that Mars gets into Leo, we're going to hear it. We're going to hear it worldwide. That logic comes back. Divine masculine comes back. The breaking out of cancel culture, the breaking down and pushback against feminism, which did harm to the male and the female. The men are coming home. The men are being restored from a sincere place through Cancer. Cancer Mars expresses this. Righteousness is there. Culture, a renewal of culture that includes the demands and needs of males in society. A culture that makes room for them, a place for them. Equality where they are included in opportunities in the society. Democratic liberalism will no longer have control over the voices and perceptions of the people. Consent will not be manufactured through that medium anymore. The people are awakening, and the magic and sorcery is not working. We are turning a new leaf